Okay.
Well, hello there.
There we are. We're having all sorts of fun today with computers and shenanigans and guests who don't understand the concept of the computer is rebooting. So we have got Pam Oakes with us today. She understands the concept of all sorts of different things, and she joins us live here on Skype. And so Pam, one of the things that is happening, it seems like all over the United States, at least this week, is all this snow that is going on, and ice and shenanigans and just nonsense. Give us some tips to dealing with the snow and the ice.
So I'm not supposed to tell you it's 81 right now, right?
That's right. Oh, I look at the weather every single day in Vegas, and I'm like, I want to go there. Joe Biden needs to give me my house and my universal basic income so I can go to Vegas. So.
And be a video star.
That's right. I'm headed to Vegas ASAP.
You're a video star.
I got all sorts of people waiting on me. I just need Joe Biden to give me my house. He ran on the fact he was going to give everybody money for a down payment on a house, and I'm like, okay, where is it? And I keep telling everybody, I'm saying the minute that goes through, it's going to be like a Bugs Bunny cartoon when they run and you see all the dust. That'll be me here in Kansas. I'll be gone and in Vegas. People will be coming over to the house, knocking on the door, and they'll come in. They'll see the place is empty, gone. I'm taking Emmy. I'm taking Peter. I'm taking the whole gear, and we're heading to Vegas. Screw all this crap. Screw this snow. Screw all these people here in Kansas that don't understand what the hell's going on. They're empty malls and everything else. But but one of the things about and I always have to tell with Pam, I always feel like I have to tell an automotive horror story. I don't know why this is. But there was these two rappers that I knew a few years ago that they went on tour, and they went to, I believe it was Wyoming, and apparently they have a state law in Wyoming that if it snows and it gets nasty, you have to put chains on your car. And one of these rappers was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not buying chains. And he's like, well, if we get stuck or something, we're going to get a ticket, whatever. So they didn't buy chains, and they got stuck. And when the cops came out to get them unstuck, they gave them a ticket for no chains. So, if it's posted, you should probably do it. Isn't that pretty much your view on things?
Yeah, you need to do it. You don't like doing it. It's a pain. It's cold out there. The snow is wet. Your gloves get wet. It's like, it's always something. But you need, seriously, for not only the safety of those around you driving, but for your safety.
Yes.
You need to put chains on there. And, think of this. The inconvenience of wrecking your vehicle and then having to rent a car. Your rent-a-car, they normally expire in 30 days. What happens if it goes beyond that? It's coming out of your pocket as well.
Yes.
Plus you have your deductible. And need we go on? So just do the simple thing. Just say, okay, Uncle, I'm putting chains on the car. Just do it. Just be done with it.
So what are some other tips that people need to be aware of when it comes to driving around and with your automotive in the winter?
Well, I always have my very popular 12 things you need to have in a box or an old duffel bag that you can get around the house for an emergency roadside issue. You have a flat tire, the window gets shattered by whatever. We have this little kit for you, and it's items that you don't have to go to the store and buy. It's stuff you have in your house. If you have to go to the store, it's under $5. So you have that. You have that backup kit that little sense of security. You're going to need your roadside service. I highly recommend, even though everybody says, yeah, I can do it myself. Don't do it yourself. I highly recommend getting a roadside service to help you out, because things are a little bit different when it is freezing cold. And for an example, the metal, it's a little tougher getting that lug nut off, and maybe just not snugging it quite right, and you have to have a specific torque rating when you tighten the lug nuts, because if you don't, well, you could lose a wheel. Okay, it's not like your grandfather's Oldsmobile. Not those steel wheels anymore. We've got fancy schmancy rims on there, and they all have a specific torque spec, for an example. But you need to have that roadside kit because we want you safe. And then that kit includes a thermal blanket, just in case you have to wait.
You know what is funny about the thermal blanket? You bring up the thermal blanket. We had for Christmas, I got my lovely significant other Brittany a survival kit, and one of the things that was in there was a thermal blanket. And young Crystal Baxter, which is Brittany's daughter, she's I think 11, but she's like 6'5", so most people think she's an adult. She keeps wanting to get this blanket open. She wants to see what this blanket is. And Brittany keeps saying, you don't open up the blanket because it's going to be so hard to get it put back in to the deal. It is for emergency use only.
Right, yeah. Yeah, but you got to have it. And I'm glad that, that came in that kit. It's important.
Yeah.
Because if you lose power and the engine's not running, that means you have no heat.
Yes.
And, now that I mentioned how warm it was here in Tampa Bay this afternoon, so what does your thermometer say outside that window there?
Let me see here. Let me see what the hell that... I think it might be 11. No, 16.
Oh.
16. I'm giving myself some credit. 16, 17 degrees. Supposedly, it's going to be next Sunday, or this Sunday, it's going to be 5, and Monday it's going to be 3. So, as Casey Kasem says, we're not going to stop till we reach the top. And and then of course, if you talk about Casey, he also wants to know if Dawn has those pictures, because he's supposed to get those dogs pictures. And he's tired of coming out of those ponderous records after, quote-unquote, a goddamn death dedication. If you haven't seen the Casey Kasem, there's an air check that came out years and years ago that's on YouTube of him yelling and screaming at his producer about things. And... if you haven't seen this, type in, Casey Kasem on YouTube, and it'll pull right up. It's quite the listen, because he's definitely not doing Scrappy Doo when he's on that. But so the thermal blanket. What else should your kit have?
Your kit should have snacks, bottled water.
Yes.
Just in case you have somebody in the group, maybe diabetic or whatever,
Yeah.
You need to have that. You already have enough problems getting towed. You don't want a second on top of that. You also, a book to amuse yourself, because you're not going to sit there and play games on your phone. You want to save that power for the vehicle, the battery.
Yes.
Battery goes or whatever.
Yes.
Yes, you have 12 volt, but still you want to save that power. Games for the kids, you want to have something like that. Your snacks, flare, the little LED flares, not flares, but LEDs, so they know that, hey, I'm stuck. And plus that helps the tow truck driver identify you as well.
Yes, because we have In fact, there was one time we were out somewhere. I'm trying to remember where the hell this was. It was somewhere out in the middle of eastern Kansas or whatever. There's probably a pro wrestling show we were at. That is usually where they're thrown, out in the middle of goddamn nowhere. But we got stuck on the side of the road, and the tow truck lost us, couldn't find us. And so we had, Brittany was searching around and had some flares, LED little flares, and put those up, and they were able to find us. So
another thing, duct tape. 1,000,001
duct
uses
tape.
duct tape.
Duct tape.
You hit some snow, and it rips that front bumper skin off, and it's kind of dragging. Duct tape it.
Wow.
All right.
That's awesome.
The window, for whatever reason, the regulator lets loose and the window drops down. It's 16 degrees out.
Yes.
That's part 2. The clear plastic tarp you can get over at Lowe's or Home Depot. The clear plastic tarp, you can get a big roll of it for $1.99.
Wow.
Wrap the window, wrap the duct tape around it. You can see out the window. Because remember, especially in the winter, you want to see 360.
Yes.
Front, back, everything.
Very much so.
It's going to be all white snow.
But you want to be able to see it at least.
You want to be able to see it.
Well,
that snowbank over there looks a little different than this one over there.
Well, Pam, as we wrap up here with you, my friend, where can people buy the book and get involved with what you're doing, my friend?
You can get the book at findmeautohelp.com. Findmeautohelp.com. The same name as the book is Find Me Auto Help. We have it on Amazon. Just look up Pam Oakes and you'll see